The Banshee of Grogan. In the rolling countryside of Ireland's County Wexford, the quiet village of Grogan is remembered for a strange and sorrowful sound that's said to echo across its fields at midnight, a sound that has nothing to do with grieving lovers or lonely ghosts, but with the spirit of death itself. For it is here that in the early 1800s, the O'Neill family began hearing the chilling cries of a woman, a banshee, the Gaelic word for women of the fairy-mound female spirits who keen or wail to signal death in the family. In the darkest days of winter, when storms would rattle the windows of their home, servants reported hearing the eerie sound of a woman's voice rising and falling like a dirge. Some even claimed to have seen her at the gates of the property, a tall, gaunt woman in gray with long silver hair and red-rimmed eyes, combing her hair with a bone comb. Though the villagers whispered that it was no mortal woman, but a banshee, an omen of death. And sure enough, when the eldest O'Neill's son fell violently ill, the wailing grew louder. Day by day, it continued unabated until he died, at which point the cries ceased. But the legend of Grogan's banshee did not end there, for over the decades, whenever an O'Neill relative, or even someone distantly connected to the family, was near death, the phantom woman would return. Some swore they heard her on the roads outside Grogan, her sobbing carrying through the mist. Others claimed she appeared at windows, her keening so sorrowful it chilled the marrow in their bones. Thus, the Banshee of Grogan became part of a larger Celtic tradition. In Irish myth, certain old families were watched over by a banshee whose sorrow foretold death, but never any evil. She did not kill, only warned. And so the Gaelic otherworld, with its sorrowful women combing their long flowing hair and forever crying out across the wild, wind-swept moors, became forever linked to the mortal world. A world where death was always near, always a possibility, but also a reminder of one's ancestors and the blood that tied them to the past. And in the telling, the Banshee of Grogan became a part of a larger British cycle of death omens, like the Black Shuck of East Anglia, a giant black dog whose appearance foretold famine and death, or the CNN Unhounds of Wales, whose mournful howls signaled the passing of the soul. To this day, some in Grogan say they still hear the faint sound of weeping on stormy nights. For them, it is no mere ghost story, but the voice of the Banshee of Grogan, forever mourning before death comes knocking. And that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time.